Well, so it's not me
Okay.
that's wrong. All right, so
Oh,
let's
wait, did I read an email? I thought for sure it was in.
no, no, dude,
Crepes. Crepes, Mike. Sorry, that's my fault.
that's okay. Let's see,
Yeah, it does say 8:30.
see,
Whoopsie.
did I just mess this up by putting that in front of us? I don't know. Okay, let's move this back over here. It's fine. Everyone loves fun. All right, so
Did
let's
we
see here.
mix the times? Yes, we did.
Oh, come on, just tell me where it's at. You know what? I have a second computer here. I'll actually open that to look for the video that we're trying to project. All right, well, we're broadcasting, I believe. We have 3 viewers. I don't know who they are.
Oh no. What are we broadcasting on?
Let's see.
Like, how do I even? Hi, if there are people watching us. Sorry, we're still trying to figure things out.
Yep, well, there we are. Yep, we have, if we go on to the Facebook page with Granite Game Summit, we're there.
Okay,
And we're at least both there, so let's see if we have audio there.
but where though? I don't see it.
Facebook
Hmm.
page with Granite Game Summit, we're there. Oh, good. We can hear. I can hear both of us. So we're super professional now.
Oh, good, 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 good.
All right. So, all right.
Oh,
So
I found it.
yeah, you found the Facebook one.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'll just go ahead. Do you need a link for it or no?
Yeah, I simply wanted to share for the tweet.
Yeah, there's the Facebook one.
Do I view as a visitor or view as a me?
Um, Either way works, I guess.
Okay.
Okay, and then YouTube. Are we up on YouTube? Are we on the YouTubes? We are. Oh man, this is like
Uh,
it's like we know what we're doing.
no, we definitely don't.
All right. All right. So Chris McKeon and Superboard Sunday are watching us on YouTube right now.
Hi, Chris. Hi, Christian or Frankie or whoever is running
Okay, and then
Superboard Sunday.
there's the second link for YouTube.
Sorry, friends. It said 8:30 in the newsletter, and I put 8 for everything else. So we're gonna
So
meet in the middle.
we're gonna meet in the middle by having it somewhere else. So all right, who?
Progress.
All right, so Superboard Sunday. Who's this? Like,
Superboard Sunday is Christian and Frankie, right?
well, that's what I mean. Is it one or the other, or is it both of them?
Oh, I see. I see. Got it. Let me tweet this.
Okay, and so we're gonna go ahead and hope that my computer doesn't crash and die here.
Oh yeah,
My
I'll
laptop,
be.
not not the broadcast. Don't worry, we're fine there. We're up to we're up to five friends on Facebook right now.
Hi, friends on Facebook. I don't know how we can see who's doing what or any of that.
Yeah. So all right. Well, because it's always super cool to go ahead and super inception everything. So I have like
I'm
four of
trying to
us on the
tweet.
screen. Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to tweet here. Yo. Okay.
Okay.
Nope, wrong thing. That's not Twitter. Things are going well. Hi, friends.
Yeah. Well, the nice thing is, we got this. It looks like we're up and running. We can hear us. Well, if we were listening to ourselves, others should be able to hear us. We look mostly good.
Yeah.
Um, you look great. I look like someone who'd go to a board game convention. So
Hey,
hey,
how do you feel about running them though?
well, man, let me tell you about running board game conventions. It is a lot of work.
Yeah, it really is.
Okay, so I'm going to send you this awesome photo I took of us. So basically, like the photo I'm sending you, this is basically what it's going to be like when we're in the hip deep in VGS territory, and we're trying to live stream and broadcast from VGS Central, which is going to be a super messy basement full of board games and 3D printed things. And
Mine will be my game room,
yeah, well, I mean,
probably.
technically, this is it too. But
That's true.
so,
My hair is crazy. I should stop touching it.
is there
Okay.
is there a monster truck video for this year? Um, Possibly. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Thank you for being ones of the sevens who have watched that, Chris. So
I don't know what I did. How did I make it smaller? Oh no. Oh, there we go. I made it bigger. Okay.
okay, hey, there we go. Okay, so we are good there. Um, so yeah, so we can wait a few more minutes, chat with each other and
Oh.
chat with folks. Answer questions about
Well,
monster truck videos. That's always good.
yeah.
So
We still have time for a monster truck video. We
we
got
do.
weeks.
Oh yeah. Well,
I,
considering that last one took like about 12 minutes to put together.
yeah.
So so um, oh, so in the excitement of all things that I do that are super awesome, um, 3D printing and the mugs, there's now fun mugs to go ahead and put your cans of beer/seltzer into, and it's so great because now who wants to hold a can when you can drink it from a cup? So
I mean, it's definitely one step nicer than our collapsible dice cups.
those collapsible dice cups, I should have had those out here. So
I don't
so
think I own one.
how do you know? We have like 300 of them somewhere.
Do we? No, we ran out of them,
Um,
I thought.
we might still have some from last year. I think we forgot that we to put out the second box, so we still have
Possibly.
probably like either 100 or 200 left over. It looks like.
I am the queen of forgetting like the stickers and the merch in general, though.
Mhm. So it looks like Maho's online. So
Hi, Maho.
I'm assuming he's probably sitting directly across from you. So
No, he's at home.
oh, okay. Well, that's. It would have been a lot more fun if he was sitting across from you, watching you on the video while talking to you through the chat, because that would have been like college all over again, of basically texting each other next to each other. So
I mean, we do that too, but no.
yeah.
I think I'm watching the Facebook as me instead of as the company, so I can't see the questions. So you, my friend, are all in for all the questions on both streaming things.
No, it's okay. So far, we've had no one ask anything on Facebook.
Okay, good.
So, but if anyone is watching on Facebook, if you want to go ahead and post a comment or something like that, just so we know you're there, that would be super helpful. So, Frankie's here. Chris got your
Frankie.
magnet. That's awesome. That's very fast, actually, Chris. I'm. It took us like 2 weeks to get our shirts when we ordered them. So,
Oh yeah, yeah. It took 17 days, I think, to get the shirt. 16 days.
mhm. Yeah, it was substantially longer than it should have been. So,
Yeah.
oh,
Well,
okay, it's
it's Christmas.
Brian's at Superboard Sunday. Okay, or is it
Oh,
Brian?
I'm sorry.
That makes. Oh well, now I know who that is. I was on their podcast. Now I feel awful. So.
I was not. I played Mike.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
100% Mike.
Well, I mean, Brian and I would go to like Great North and like have beers and like talk board games and stuff like that. And here I am, like completely not helping. So, oh, Kevin
Yeah.
McMullen can hear us. That's good. Thank you so much.
Hi, Kevin.
So, all right. So I'm gonna as we're going, I'm gonna try to look at you here because that's where the camera is. But then right over here is where the broadcaster is. So
Hmm.
yeah. So hopefully like
So do back and forth.
back and forth. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. So.
Before we do our next stream, I'll set up. I'll like send my laptop to
Right,
monitor. So
right. Yeah, I should. Yeah, and I'll make sure to turn off all the lights and stuff.
and I
So.
won't. I won't do this on a step ladder next time.
Oh no. Trust me. I've set up even worse setups. Like I've had to use as a teleprompter. I've had an iPad leaning up against a box of cereal on top of like three cardboard boxes that were like just emptied from a moving truck, and then we filmed. I think it was like Chris Pappas actually for a video for like a trivia thing, and so it was just like
You did very
professional
well.
as they get. So
Yes, very, very professional.
yeah,
Okay. I should retweet this from my account as well when I'm thinking
oh,
about it.
yeah,
Ooh. Okay, friends. So, Virtual Game Summit is coming up in what, like 6 weeks, 7 weeks,
6 weeks. Yeah, March
7 weeks?
March
March 12th
12th
to the
through
14th.
14th. Yeah. So
Yeah, so 6 or 7 weeks from now.
yeah,
Soon.
Yep. So yeah, it's
Tickets
getting
just
there.
went on sale,
Yep.
and
So
that's all going well. Now we're just doing the fun thing of building up our Discord to
mhm,
make sure that it's as safe and good as possible before we send everybody the invites to that.
mhm.
We have to update the code of conduct for online things because it's a little different than running a show in person.
Yeah,
Though
how is
Mike
that?
says you still can't have a rotisserie chicken, which seems mean.
I think
I
that
say
it's
you're in your own home, you can have a damn rotisserie chicken.
well, listen. I mean, some standards just need to be maintained regardless of where you're at.
That's valid. No, I just we're rewriting the code of conduct to include things like you can't try to be somebody else. If you get caught faking your identity, we will boot you and block you. You can't just slide into people's DMs. Ask for consent first, whether that means tag them in a channel that you're talking on or whatever. But please don't just DM people through the Discord. That makes people uncomfortable. And I think it's a thing that predominantly happens to women more often than men. We don't love that. Speaking as obviously for all, it's just a little awkward. Yeah, just little things like that that we obviously we don't have to worry about as much in person, but now they need to be added into the code of conduct. And figuring out our bots and all of that fun stuff. But invites for the Discord will go out later this week to people who got their tickets already and to our event hosts. And then you get to watch us awkwardly stumble through Discord as well.
Yeah, yes. It'll be
I think
quite the
Mike's a little
treat.
more Discord proficient than I am. I'm
Yeah,
learning.
yeah. It's coming together. I mean, like we have the basic framework for it. We want to make sure that we're trying to offer up what standard Discord has paired with what you'd expect from an online type of scenario, in the sense of trying to
Yeah.
virtualize some of the in-person experience as far as like looking for group, looking for players, pieces like that, but also trying to keep it in mind for like the longevity of things. So it's more than just like the more than just the event itself, so we can have it for before and after and forever and ever. So we want to make sure
Yes.
that it's all good. So
At least for 2021.
yes,
I'm
yeah,
not going to commit to moderating it forever,
no,
but I will until the end of the year.
I think we can safely say that as long as we have the folks who are interested in wanting to have community, that we'll have community there. So
Yes, I agree with that. So basically, we're trying to build out an online community for everybody to use and be able to safely and easily find pickup games with friends online, and where you can talk about like upcoming Kickstarters or whatever, and have the appropriate channels for that, and where we can host these like pop up game nights. But between now and the actual virtual Game Summit event, we're going to host some Jackbox nights and stuff. Walk people through how to do the Discord, how to start games on Tabletop Simulator, my favorite. Uh,
what do you
Board Game Arena,
what do you hate about which one?
Tabletop Simulator.
Oh yeah, it's not bad. It's definitely yeah.
I
So
disagree.
let's see here. Let's see
It is
here.
not the most user friendly. It has literally not changed, so I hadn't used it for years until just recently. Still the same. Uh, it doesn't appear to be any improvement, just more
Mhm.
options,
Yeah,
which I guess some see as an improvement. My apologies, but
yeah. So just real quick, just looking at the chats. Where to go? Frankie, you asked how will the hosting process work? Can you expand what you mean by hosting? Unfortunately, it's going to be about like 30 seconds here, but
yeah, I'm gonna assume he means that.
don't know. So
Maybe he means game.
maybe. Christian jumped on. Uh,
Christian.
Christelli, yeah, yeah. We almost said tabletop simulator without cringing. Yeah, that's you're not wrong. So, all
Yeah.
right. So let's see here. We
The
still
things
have
I do for my friends.
yeah. So we still have another 7 minutes or so before before we should officially start. So
Oh, right.
yeah,
Because Kimberly and Michael gave different times to this.
yep. So yeah,
Don't worry. The event schedule only goes through me.
right.
There's no,
Well, I'm just happy I at least tweeted the right day this time. I mean,
I mean,
when I first drafted it, it was like Tuesday the 17th, and I was like, that's not even close. So
yeah, yeah.
we at least got that
Great.
taken care of. So um, Chris McKean,
Okay.
Capstone did a great job with Camp Capstone for reference. Yeah, they did do a very good, nice job with that. They definitely took it to heart and made sure that it ran very smoothly for folks. So
That's good.
okay, so Frankie's hosting board games during the event.
Ooh,
All right,
okay.
so
Yeah, we can answer that.
yeah,
So we'll have breakout channels on our Discord, and they will be looking for game channels. And then we will also break them into types of games or service, perhaps. So like TTS, Board Game Arena, Yukata, that kind of a thing. And then you can just use the looking for games channel and say you're looking to play a
mhm,
game on Board Game Arena for up to 4 people at X time.
yeah,
These are the games I'm looking for. That kind of a thing.
yeah. So just like not terribly dissimilar to how Game Summit typically operates, of having like
That's not.
essentially pickup games, like where you like either whether it's like you and your friends that you came with, like you'll sit down to a table or a virtual table in this case and like play a game. If you're looking for players, we'll have Discord channels and tags essentially saying looking for group, so you can go kind of give a shout out for folks to try to find to try to find additional people to join in your game. Um, Now that said, we definitely are going to be having some schedule. We're going to be having some scheduled events. A couple folks
Oh
have
yeah.
reached out to us about tournaments and such, and I think that that's a cool option. Especially one of the things with Granite Game Summit, Stumptown Game Summit, and Reunity, we don't try to schedule many things because we don't want to have to block off a number of tables for tournaments and
That's what I
such,
was just
especially
gonna say.
that they
Yeah.
can take all day every day. So, but with the virtual
Hmm.
event, like we'd be able to open it up so that anyone would be able to join in without that worry. So I know there's been some folks, there's been someone reached out to us about like a Twilight Struggle tournament, which I think would be really cool.
Hmm.
There's like other tournaments that people have in mind. The nice thing about that is that we can have folks sign up in advance, and then the organizer for the said tournament can go ahead and coordinate that, and it can happen
Right.
alongside with everyone else in the Discord and everything like that. So
Yes. So there will be, like Mike's saying, there will be some planned and scheduled, straightforward board gaming things. But by and large, it'll be more like G2S when it comes to the game side. We're really focusing more on the events and community engagement aspect more with the convention itself. Because by this point, most people who are that interested in board gaming online have found a little bit of a cadence and a community for doing so already. I mean, we obviously are going to try to promote you doing more of that and together, not just that weekend, though, like always. But we will have a really packed schedule of extra events that you can do that will be a variety of things like geeky trivia, pop culture trivia. There are a variety of different game shows. We're going to have Bruce Vogue, for people who know Bruce, is going to come in and host a game show for a Saturday night. We're doing Fancy Friday, just like we would at a regular Granite Game Summit.
yep,
I know for
we
the
have some cool ideas
Stumptown
with that
crew,
one
we
for
don't have
sure.
that.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
we're going to do a red carpet event. Like, we're going to mix it up.
yeah, and I think I think like one of the well we don't want to give too much away because we're almost officially starting. So but yeah,
Oh, that's valid. We still haven't
yeah,
officially started.
yeah. So
We're going to have to say all of this
I
again.
know we are, which is fine because then we can go ahead and like kick things off and just be like hello and officially start things off. So
We can
let's see.
start again. My
No, it's
apologies.
no.
How?
I'm just excited about Rampart. Like VGS. It's something we want to talk. Yeah. So no, it makes sense. We want to talk about it. Dan Cristelli with a killer idea here in the chat. We'll bring
Ooh,
I'll bring Dan. I'll bring that up once we get talking about stuff, so we can start talking about other ideas because that's a really cool one. And I've actually done one of
that
these
we're talking about.
I've actually done one of these at my old job, where we set up I mean, mind you, so Kimberly, I tell you so that way you're not left in the dark. Pet parade,
Mhm.
like attendee pet parade. And
Oh,
so
yes.
yeah, so with this one, it'll have to be very much like send us videos and photos of your pets, and then we'll put them together, and we'll probably have the same. We could probably get the same team for the red carpet for the pet parade as well.
Maybe I
But
could maybe mix it up. Let's let them
maybe
do other things
yeah,
instead,
but
probably.
so we used to do a pet parade or a puppy parade at work where like we'd have like everyone would bring their dogs and everything in there, and then we'd set up not too dissimilar from this. We'd set up like two or three cameras throughout the building, and have people like take the tour through the building. And it was like basically a week long excitement for building this up, and we'd have to put down like plastic sheets like for the entire path and everything like that just in case. And it literally like we'd have maintenance coming in like the night before laying it down. Like they were excited for it too because they wanted to see like these like Great Danes and Mastiffs and stuff like that like coming through the building and stuff like that. And then we'd have a handful of folks like at the different spots like actually commentating on it and like actually announcing the dogs and just being excited for it. So prep time would take about like 3 4 days for this just because of just making sure that we have things set up and we have like the network cables running in the right spots and everything like that for the streaming, because this was also before things were a lot more easier. Um, and then the parade would be over in like 5 minutes. So, but we'd have like 25 dogs and like they'd just be walking through the building and everything like that. And it was always good. I probably actually still have a stream of that somewhere I could share. So
Dan, I assume it's Dan. Is it Dan or is it
Dan, Dan
Laura? You just said
it's
Chris.
well Dan's logged in. If Laura, it could have been
Okay.
Laura typing as well. So
Dan, somebody else asked me about a pet parade too. I believe it was Patrick. So yes, we can pet parade. Whether we set that up as slideshow or just a timed like coordinator, somebody's like sends the video to this person, and now Dan, can you show us your pet? You can show us Ruby, and then I'll cry tears because I can't actually snuggle her because it's a pandemic. But
yeah, yeah,
like that. But the red carpet event we're going to run, yeah, like Mike said, is similar, but it will be through slideshow probably so that we can preset it. And Mike, are you pinging me on on Slack too, or somebody else?
no, it's not me.
No.
It must be
Okay,
someone
it's not
else.
you.
So and then just
A
to
different Slack channel.
make sure you point it out because as soon as I say it as this, you'll be able to hear his voice in your head. It was Dan. So
Okay.
yeah. All
All
right.
right.
So we could so
Hey guys, it's
with
eight
that
thirty. By guys, I
hey
mean folks.
yeah.
Sorry,
So no, it's fine. It's colloquial. All right. So actually, no, folks. Yeah, we're not going to attempt to be funny.
y'all, folks,
Y'all.
whatever.
All right. So anyway, so it
Yo.
is 8:31. Hello. Welcome to the live stream. I'm Mike, and this is Kimberly.
Hi.
And thank you for joining us for those who have been with us for the last 15 minutes, to continue to talk about Virtual Game Summit, which is coming up on March 12th, 13th, and 14th. This will ultimately take the place of the planned events for Stumptown Game Summit, Granite Game Summit, and Reunity Games.
Yep.
As of right now, we have no intended plans to host in-person events for 2021. Um, Never say never, but basically we're not planning on hosting events in 2021. So
Yeah. We're
so
going to err on the side of caution for that right now, though we did sign a contract for 2022.
yep, we were excited for that. We talked
Mm-hmm.
to Stephanie, who is our contact at the Hilton or at the Hilton, the DoubleTree, and it is a Hilton, so I got that right.
It is a Hilton. Yeah.
And she's excited. She's she was sad that we're not going to be able to make it. She's excited for
Mm-hmm.
2022. I'm chatting with her tomorrow about seeing if she wants to help get involved with VGS in some capacity. I don't know how. I guess if you want, you can rent
Yeah.
a room for it. Um, we won't be, but you probably can.
No.
If you really want that con going experience, you just can't leave your room once you get there.
Yeah.
So we're not going to stop you, but that could be fun for like the threes of you who do it. And yeah, so I mean, I guess let's. So Kimberly, why did we want to do a virtual event? Like after last year's
Yeah.
event, pretty much the world
Yeah.
shut down. So
Yeah.
G2S
Like
was
literally the week after.
yeah, like G2S was pretty much the last bastion of hope for gaming for people. Um, and we kind of just wrote it off. And I know at one point we said we weren't going to do a virtual event, but why did we
Oh, we
change that?
definitely
Yeah,
we were not fans of the idea. Not even like a little bit friends, like not even close. We
yeah,
were like, we don't do an event next year. We don't do an event next
yeah.
year.
And this was even before like other people who are much smarter than us tried like started to plan for like virtual events. So
Yeah, we talked about it. We decided no. And then I attended a couple virtual events and went, hmm. But also that inspired me to like, okay, but this could be done in a lot more interesting and engaging way than just here's a bunch of Discord channels, here's some scheduled times for games that you can play with somebody on Tabletop Simulator. Like, that's okay. I don't want to make it sound like that's terrible. It's enjoyable still.
yeah,
It does not in any way, shape, or form feel like a convention, nor does it feel like any of our conventions specifically.
yeah,
It just they fell flat for me. There's not a lot of community engagement. And
yeah.
that's when Mike and I were chatting about the community engagement thing. And I was like, we could just do something weird, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, pretty
You know?
much, right? And
Yeah.
like my I did very few virtual cons this past year, and a very similar experience, right? I never tried to play games with anyone because I just didn't have the expressed interest. But
Yeah.
early like about May or so, we had like there was a group of about like 30 or 40 people or so would get together and hold like a very microcon. Like we elected to not do that in person and do it online, and that was great because it was this very intimate experience
Right.
with people who we know well, and it just turned into a lot of friends who know each other and who wanted to be together, coming together to have fun. It didn't necessarily mean that we weren't playing games. We played a lot of the crew and we played a lot of Root, um, and other things like Jackpot games. But it really was like that sense of community piece that really did it for us. And like to your point, then like as we're talking, well, what if we tried to take that weird approach, right? So
Yeah. I mean, that's literally, we were like, okay, but we could do weird, fun stuff.
yeah,
It doesn't have to be, here's a game slot every 30 minutes on one of these Discord channels on one of these gaming websites.
yeah, yeah, and
Because it
so
just doesn't, I mean, that doesn't feel as natural. And we've looked at software where you can do the like wander around through
yeah,
digital virtual
it,
world tables.
it was yeah
But
basically it
yeah,
was like Second Life, which was actually kind of cool,
right.
but
Yeah.
it
I
just
mean,
wasn't, yeah.
that's all neat, but it also is definitely a larger technical requirement for a lot of people.
Mhm.
Some people, I mean, like
Yeah,
Chromebooks are incredibly popular, and you can't run the software on Chromebooks. You can't even run it on older Macs. So,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
mm,
it definitely had its issues. So
yeah.
um,
And we don't want to alienate such a large portion of our audience. So,
mhm,
we're trying to keep it as tech load low as
mhm,
possible. And we are going to continually run little quick live stream, make
mhm.
little videos,
Yeah,
invite people in to test. Like, come in, play. We're going to try to play games on Tabletop Simulator
mhm.
at this day and this time. If you're unsure how to do it, come with us and we'll walk you through it. We'll video chat with you or whatever, and we'll help you set it up and you can play a game with us. Like,
Mhm.
we're going to help you figure it all out before the
Yeah,
event for those who are interested so that we
mhm,
can try to make the event just enjoyable
mhm.
and
Yeah,
remove some of that stress of the unknown.
yeah,
And we're going to keep it as tech threshold low as humanly possible
mhm. Yeah,
for
yeah,
the people attending. It's
and
not
so
going to be for us, but for you guys.
right,
It
right.
could be.
Yeah. So and so like in general, like we kind of like chatting about it, and like we kind of decided like let's hold a gaming convention that doesn't focus on gaming. So
Yeah.
I mean like there will be gaming, obviously. I mean we're talking about tabletop and all these other pieces, but you know it is going to be like those fun, quirky little events, right? Like we're talking. Um, as we were just talking before we officially started, you know, like a pet parade, you know, like we
Yeah.
um, for multiple reasons, we unfortunately can't do that at the DoubleTree, but a pet parade for this would be it would be a lot of fun. You know, we're talking about doing the Fancy Friday, kind of like maybe tying it into like a red carpet type of approach. You know, to like to have fun with it. You know, like someone's asking about will there be breakfast and games? You know, like maybe like you know we talked about I'll be up from like 5 to 8 in the morning just eating cereal. I'm not going to
Mhm.
talk to you, but you're going to watch me eat cereal.
You
I
guys can
mean,
just watch Mike eat cereal on
um,
the Discord channel.
I'm not saying that not saying that that's going to be a very popular event. Patrick might come, but like that's but but you know
Patrick
like
is our
it's
morning person.
you know it's definitely we want to take that approach of like having fun with our community and doing community events that our community wants to do, right? And like gaming is definitely part
Yeah.
of that, but there's other things to do as well. And we want to
Yeah.
focus on the people this time around for sure.
Yes. Yeah. It is definitely more community engagement focused than it is directly come and play board games online focused. But we are building the community with the intent of continually being able to be a place that you can go to play board games online so that it doesn't only last a weekend.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
But in order for all of that to work, it definitely requires all of you lovely
Yeah.
people. You have to actively like block out time, which is definitely a bigger ask when
Mhm.
we're all working from home and we never leave our houses anymore. Blocking out, 4 or 5 hours so that you can just enjoy some events and pop in and watch other people play games or game with them or pop into Designer Alley.
Yeah,
Like,
and that's a good point too, right? We are looking to still hold some of like the core things that we did in the past, right?
mhm,
We're gonna have a designer alley in some capacity. We are going to talk to diversions and see if they want to come and play and do something, right? Um,
right.
maybe not sell, not maybe not have a vending booth. That'd be kind of weird. Um,
No,
but
yeah, no
but
online
like but we want them to
vendor
them
space.
to we want them to be a part of it too, right? And so
Yeah. Our
um,
usual local companies,
mm,
these like the Castle is hosting Geeky Trivia for us,
yep.
as they've done many a time.
Mhm.
And it's always a super popular event that there's never enough room for Geeky Trivia. There's never
Mhm.
enough tables. It always fills. Online, they can do up to 100 teams.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, you know, like I think we're reaching out to Keating and Boards and Brews
Yeah,
to
we'll
come and
see.
be involved as well. But also anyone else in our community, anyone who's listening now, anyone who is on the newsletter. You know, if you have an idea, we want to hear it because we want to be able to run with it. We want to make sure that folks have a chance to try it out if it's something fun and cool, right? Um, it doesn't even have to be fun and
Mm-hmm.
cool. It just has to be something interesting, right? um,
I Yeah, we're here to help you set up and run whatever event that seems reasonable,
yeah,
and family friendly.
yeah, and you know, like and like so, you know, from that, you know, like we were talking a little bit about about a Discord. We are in the process of um, setting up a VGS Discord server so that
Yep.
everyone in attendance can join. It'll kind of be like that central converging area for where folks can gather to look for groups to play games, but then also to connect and chat with each other. And like I said, we have like the basic framework of that set up. We're just kind of tightening the nuts and bolts. Kimberly, you're working on the uh,
The new code of conduct.
yep, yeah. So to make
I
sure
pretty much
that
have it done now,
yeah,
but yeah.
so but then you know we once we get people in there, we'll be again looking to our community to help us with how do you want this to be shaped? You know, what do you want? What parts
Right.
do you want it to? What parts should be there, and what things should be taken into consideration that maybe we aren't thinking of? So
Yeah. So once you're in the Discord, we will have an area where you can suggest. We have a channel where you can make suggestions, whether that be for events or channels you'd like to see pop up in on our Discord server. Let us know.
mhm.
Mike and I are actually streaming through our Discord
Yeah,
currently.
because it was the only way we knew how to make this work. So,
We're learning.
but it
We're
worked, and
definitely
it's
not
actually
streamers.
but it looks like it's doing okay so far. I mean, like as I'm watching this monitor in real time, this one's slightly about 2 seconds delayed. Down here,
The
like
computer's like
YouTube
delayed.
is running faster than Facebook is finally catching up in the end. So, uh,
Yeah. I'm trying not to see the Facebook too much out of the corner of
yeah,
my eye because it's significantly delayed.
yeah, but um, but yeah. So I mean, I mean, that's a big piece of it, right? I mean, like we're genuinely looking forward to getting together with our friends as and folks here, and spending a few days with you, and then being able to hopefully continue to have that community
Hmm.
afterwards. With that, we're also just like anytime we're running an event, we're always looking for volunteers as well, right? And so with
Yes.
this is a different volunteer load
Hmm.
because it's a little bit different. Like whereas like with this, I can be like, all right, Frankie, I need you to walk the halls for 3 hours, and he's a rock star about it. But like this, it might be more the okay. Well, we're looking for folks who can help us with moderation, folks who can
Right.
help with people finding groups in the looking for group channel, help with
Yeah, we
like
basically will need digital hosts, right?
yeah,
That's
digital
the
host. We're gonna need we're
yeah.
gonna need like a tech desk as well, of folks who can
Yep.
basically help out with like how to make Discord work, how to make your headphones work,
Right.
how to fix virtual or tabletop simulator when all of a sudden half of the resources go blank when you're in the middle of playing terraforming Mars. Not that that's happened before, but
I mean, this is also partially why we're going to host a bunch
yeah,
of online events between now and
mm,
when the virtual happens, so that we can try
yeah,
to work out a lot of this kinks for
mm,
people ahead of time, and hopefully
yeah,
there's less tech help that will be needed. But we're realistic, and we know there are pop-up issues. Eh,
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Things happen. Right?
It happens, yeah, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, like, so we we're taking it slow. We want to make it work. We want to make it fun for everyone, and that's basically going to be a round and around circle there. So, um,
Should we talk about some of our weird events? And by
yeah,
weird, I mean fun.
let's talk about those. So, what do you got
Okay.
on the list?
Okay. So yeah. So Fancy Friday. Well, first of all, we'll kick off. Mike and I will run an opening ceremonies live streams, and we'll do some sort of silly thing in there as well to kick it off on Friday before the rest of the events kick in. And the castle will be hosting their annual trivia for us, and we will be doing Fancy Friday, and then the lovely Kathleen Mercury, who is a game designer and teacher, pretty well known, and Omari, who is the designer of Rap Gods and Hoop Gods coming out, will also be running a virtual red carpet for us, which is exactly what it sounds like.
I'm excited for that.
Imagine a red carpet where people walk down it with your fancy Friday outfits, except for you will be sending us your little video clips or selfies ahead of time, and Mike and myself will be tossing them into a slideshow. And then Kathleen and Omari are going to host a cocktail hour, and then they're just going to commentate over it with the audience, and you can watch them and interact with them like this, right? And comment on
Yep.
things, and they're just going to give you the commentary on people's outfits and looks. They're setting up a playlist. Like, it'll be a lot of fun. They're both big personalities, great people,
Hmm.
and it's definitely a different thing for us.
Yeah.
But it should be a great way to tie in the Fancy Friday thing. And I want to do onesies on Sunday because by
Because why
then
not? Yeah.
I'm not even going to be a human. I will have been moderating stuff probably 20 hours a day for 2 days at that point. So
Yeah.
by Sunday, I will be lying on the floor, but I'll be in a onesie and still
Hmm.
still trying to join the event. And the lovely Crystal Dax
Hmm.
recommended that we call it Sunday onesie Sunday. There we go. Yeah. When I was like, what do you call that? We got Fancy Friday and onesie Sunday. So yeah, so we can have some casual things there. Your moderator Chris is going to run his Price is Right game for us. Bruce is going to run a game show. We haven't decided which one yet. We may actually let you guys vote on which would you like to see. We have obviously designer Alley. There's some talk about some digital game, board game. What do you call it? Tournament. There we go.
Yep. There it is.
Those things that I never do. Yeah, tournament. And we have a board game face swap, which I
Hmm.
believe is going to be hosted by Benita and possibly Matt Morgan.
Do you
And
know
we
any more
have,
details on what that actually is? Because I saw that on a list, and
oh my God.
I'm only assuming that this is basically Face Off, but like with like Flip Foley's face and Heartthrob, like where you just like
So have you seen Face Swap, that Face Swap app where you swap your face with somebody else's face?
all right,
It'll be
so
that, but two board game covers instead of actual people's faces. and you have to try to figure out which games they're from.
Okay, so okay, so basically it is Face Off the game show.
Yeah, board game
Just
cover Y.
just minus Nicolas
Yeah,
Cage.
yeah, yeah, where you can get partial points if you get one but not the other.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, and things like that. And then we have board game sea shanties hosted by Monique and Crystal, and I think they're going to invite one or two more people to sing with them as well,
Mhm.
where it'll be exactly what it sounds like, sea
Yeah.
shanties about board games, and you guys can join in the audience for a sing along and like riffing to help build what the sea shanty
Mhm.
lyrics will be on a game. Uh, and we'll have large group games like Patrick and Eric usually run Patrick and Eric in the morning. They're talking about doing a large group cartographers teach and play
Mhm.
through. We'll do a pet parade. I'll decide. I
Sure.
mean, not decide. I'll try to figure out who would be a good pet parade host.
Mhm.
Uh, and we'll probably do welcome to at some point.
Mhm.
Any
Sure.
large, any game that can play up to like 100 people at one time, we're going to be looking into running streams of with hosts.
Mhm.
Oh, let's see
I
what
see.
other.
I had a terrible idea of trying to run Launch Party, which is essentially
Oh, yeah.
keep talking and nobody explodes, but with rockets.
Yeah.
It will probably not go well
Yeah.
because it's more complicated. But
Oh,
why not?
yeah. And there's a ghost in the server, right? Is that what
Oh,
it's called?
that's something like that. Yeah, there's like a haunted house in a server that
There's a ghost in this Discord?
that someone's talking about trying to
Oh,
set up and
Corey's
run.
gonna
So
host. Yeah.
so that'll be interesting. So we definitely have a good start to some events, and hopefully we'll be able to do more with it for sure. Obviously,
Oh, yeah. We already have
yeah,
14 events lined up with
mhm,
hosts and everything,
yeah,
and we're still adding and rounding out
yeah,
and trying to find new
and
adventurous things. So hit us up with suggestions. Oh, Brandon Rojas suggested the coloring, so we're gonna have a
oh yes, right,
chill
yeah, that'll be good. You can
coloring
join
chill.
me with your bowl of
Mm-hmm.
cereal and silently
Yep.
stare at each other one morning. So it'll just be an
You can
intense
stare at Mike while he eats.
like an intense couple hours of cereal eating, or
Yeah.
something more pleasant. Um, you know, um,
We'll have like coffee and chat channels too for people to
yeah,
just hop into a voice Discord channel and hang out with friends.
mhm,
Because really, like that's half of what makes a convention for most of us.
yeah,
It's that ability to wander and find people and just connect, even if you don't play a game with somebody, even if you talk to them for just 3 minutes.
mhm,
So we're going to try to encourage people to do some of that throughout the Discord server as well. Hop into these voice channels and hang out with
yeah,
your friends. Like we all miss each other,
mhm,
and you get to meet new people because it's all of our events in one.
mhm, yep. So something that not an event, but like something that we were talking about that we're excited to try to see if folks will be up for doing is trying to add in role play games this year as well
Oh
with
yeah.
Discord. So we have a few folks who have volunteered to kind of step in to help with some indie games and such like and stuff. Like
Yeah.
you were talking, there's the not the Mall Madness one, Empire Records one, the Damn
Game
the
the
Man.
man.
Yeah, that one looks fun.
Yeah.
Like I want to see a game of boy problems happen. And the a variety of other things. Obviously, you have like your traditional like D&D and Pathfinder and stuff, which folks are if this is kind of again comes back to those volunteers. If folks are looking to run games like for RPGs and such, that's
Mhm.
something that we're excited to be able to offer through VGS.
Yeah.
We definitely have found over the past year I've played a lot more role play games than I have in years because it's a lot easier and a little bit more immersive to be able to sit down with some friends online to play than necessarily board games, which is again like to each their own, but it's another cool opportunity to get together and socially game in a way different than what typically has happened at
Yeah.
G2S or any of the other events. So
Yeah. It affords us again the space to explore some new options that we're generally just table limited to in a venue. It's that we've never been anti role playing games. It's just we can't give you rooms for it.
mm,
And like in order to run a very immersive role playing game in the hall with 300 other people around you is probably not ideal.
yeah, I've,
And
I've,
we
I've
just
seen I've seen it
haven't
happen
found the
before,
right
but no.
venue for that. Yeah. I mean,
So
there are always people who play some role playing games at G2S at
mm,
least every year. There's always a few that get played,
mm,
but we can help build an environment to do that online a lot better.
Mhm.
So it affords us the space to do that. We're talking about doing a role playing matchmaker, which is
Oh, that's
exactly
right.
what it
Yeah,
sounds like.
that's right.
Yeah, where
I forgot about that
we're
one.
a
That was actually
panel
pretty cool.
of RPG designers and people who have GM'd a lot will come together and help you like have paneling things where they can just interact with you and try to figure out what it is you're looking for in a role playing game
Mhm.
and help you find like the system. You can tell them I would really like low violence, which is definitely my, my low violence one shot, relatively short, or I'm looking to get into a really immersive fantasy world campaign,
Mhm.
and they can help you out with that, and then you'll have a better idea what you might want to try
Mhm.
during VGS. So
Yep.
if anybody is looking to GM an event,
Yeah. I mean, if you have an idea for an RPG game,
eh,
shoot us a message. Info at granitegamesummit.com, which would have
yeah,
been a super cool thing to put up on the screen here if I thought of that
we're
before
learning.
before. So we're just gonna
Yeah.
try to do that real quick. Um,
So hit us up with suggestions. You can also tweet at us or comment on Facebook. We're here. Any of our channels, but info at granitegamesummit.com is definitely our preferred place to organize volunteers for things. Yeah, overall, I think it'll be a good time. It will definitely be different to offer RPGs, but I think that's great.
yeah, it will be a lot of fun.
Yeah, RPGs work in a less stressful way than online board games does, I think. So you don't need as much tech for most of them, at least. And we
Yeah,
have an
very much so.
amazing role playing community in the greater Western Mass area. Like there are so many prominent RPG designers nearby. And it's great to finally get to bring them in to do some things and have the space to provide it.
Oh, that's too big there. There we go. Perfect. All right, so now you have a place to
Having
send us things. So
we're, oh, there we go.
yeah,
Yeah.
it gets there eventually. So all right, so I think
Woo!
so
That's
Kimberly,
me
is
seeing
there?
it live.
I know. Uh, Kimberly, is there anything else that we want to make sure that we mention before we go to the feeds and take a look at questions?
Yeah, I think we can open it up to questions. Just that, yeah.
Okay, cool. So
Be
yeah,
ready to have some weird times, some
yeah.
good,
So
weird, fun times.
so folks, feel free to in the comments in the chats, go ahead and shoot us some questions you might have about this event, about future events, about us, about anything, and we'll try to answer those best we can. I'm gonna backtrack through our feed here and try to find questions. Let's see here. So yeah, so we have the pet parade, and idea for that. I think we're going to definitely
I'm all in.
seriously take a look at that one for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I saw one question as I'm looking for other ones. When do we think that we'll have the Discord up and running? So we
This
do
is
have the
this is
Discord technically up and running, but we're just putting the final step, um, the final tweaks on it to get things in place, at least in an entry level perspective, and we'll build it up. We'll build it live.
Yeah.
But
Well, we want your feedback too,
yeah,
though. So it makes more sense once we invite people in to do
yeah,
more of our channel catering and restructuring once other
mhm,
people have accessed it and been able to tell us what they would like to see.
yeah.
Otherwise, it's just Mike and I.
Yeah, pretty much, pretty
And
much. Kevin's there sometimes too, but
yeah.
so, but we should be able to start getting those invites out this week. We're
Mm-hmm.
trying to figure out the best way to actually send them out because Discord doesn't like to make things easy when it comes to inviting people to be part of it, unless it's a public
Yeah.
facing thing. So, but
Mm-hmm.
we'll get those sent out here this week as soon
Yep.
as we can. Um, um, I'm assuming this is directed to you, Kimberly, from Dan, with respect to probably Ruby. You will snuggle her someday. I'm assuming
Oh,
that
I will
is.
snuggle her
I'm
someday.
assuming that's what it is in
Also,
reference to.
Laura, but
It could be, but
yeah.
will 2022 be an extended an extra day like 2021 was supposed to be?
Yes.
Yes, yes, Frankie. The answer to that is yes. The current plan is, so in the past we've done an event. Our events have gone uh, Friday, Saturday, Sunday with an unofficial nightcap on Thursday. Um,
Hmm.
for 2021 and now 2022, we are looking to have it run Thursday through Sunday, um, with a
Yep.
nightcap on Wednesday. I guess I mean, that's the
Yeah.
wrong way of putting it, but I don't. But
With
essentially,
a basically a pre-con on Wednesday night after setup happens.
yeah. Or a late night con setup party because
Or
everyone loves
a
that.
little bit of both,
Everyone
really.
everyone loves that. So yeah, there will be that. Will there be breakfast and games? Yes. I mean, I think
Online?
yes. Well, probably. I'm gonna guess. I mean, like, if you want to
Yes.
if you want to play games at breakfast time with whoever's in your household, yeah, do that too. Toss a camera up and shoot and throw it up into a Discord. Why not? But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, I think one of the other things is that VGS is for it because it is online. You no longer are limited to having to get to that destination location, right? And
Right.
so because we're involving this event involves Granite Game Summit and Stumptown Game Summit, we're talking East Coast and West Coast attendees, and so we do expect there to be some very late night gaming
Hmm.
from an East Coast perspective, and probably some crazy early morning from a West Coast. But again, like people are up. Like I said, I mean, like while I'm joking about being up and eating cereal at you, um, like
You
that's
do.
early AM is a great time to play games for me. So I don't see why not. And if others are up and
Yeah.
for it, then let's do it. Um,
Yeah. And I plan to host some like coffee hangout, play Welcome to, play Second Chance, roll and write thing that we can give you PDF options to print out or just play digitally and just chill out and hang and play a roll and write with me. And we can drink our coffee together.
let's see.
Like very low stress ease into the day for me for moderating events.
Yeah. All right. So a comment from Brandon here. Started going to Granite obviously to play games, but it's become so much more about seeing people in the community and yes, again playing games with them. Haha. Yes. I mean like that's thank you, Brandon. Like it's one
Thank you,
of it's
Brandon.
like if folks know me, they know that at our events I rarely play games. But I do get to
Sure.
know people, and it's definitely a highlight for sure for myself being able to see and interact with folks year after year. Even if it's as little as making a dumb, dry, awkward joke that Laura rolls her eyes at me for, as I'm checking someone in and giving their badge,
Hmm.
to having a long conversation with someone. It's always enjoyable, and I'm very glad that you are coming back with that in mind, amongst other things, and hopefully it's the same for everyone else as well. So.
Is that
Um,
Brandon Rojas?
yes, and then Dan immediately agrees with him. So.
I mean, really, the amount I'm always impressed, especially now at Granite Games, the amount of times people impromptu have lunch together. Now that we have food trucks, like people who don't really know each other will then chill out and have lunch together and talk about games. Like it is an incredibly inviting community, and that always brings me like a lot of joy. It's a big pain in the ass to run a convention, y'all. So when we see you guys connecting and enjoying and bonding and just eating lunch together or having coffee in the quiet zones and just having a chill conversation with somebody, like that's the stuff that really warms my cold heart, makes it all
Yeah.
of the
Yes, it makes that
work worth it.
when that cold heart suddenly warms up to like a nice lukewarm or so. Like
Yeah.
that's when we know we've done our job here because
Yeah.
the bitter sarcasm is less bitter and just lightly sarcastic.
Just
Yeah,
sarcasm.
just
Yeah.
a little bit. Um, will some plays be streamed so people can watch if they can't play? Yeah, I don't. I think that that's something that we want to encourage for sure. Of like being able to invite people to like participate at the level that they want to, and
Yes.
like hopefully like we'll have like the voice channel set up that will have streaming options in there, and hopefully people will take advantage of that for sure.
Hmm.
And I think that's a great it is a lot of fun being able to go down the lobbies and like down the channels and see all these videos light up for sure. And so that could be very cool, and hopefully people we'll do that for sure. So
Yes. Oh yeah, I think that we'll have a good audience for that. And we have a lot of hosts and friends who are streamers in general. So I assume that there will be some of that.
okay, so from I think it's Brian, Superboard Sunday. Perhaps an official con cocktail we can make at home, a con tail, if you will.
Oh, I love that.
I think that this is a smart choice. If
Yeah,
um,
let's think on that.
I am quite the mixologist. Dan Cristelli can attest to that with the COVID sunrise. Like if someone who might have like an actual sense of taste though might want to make it as well.
I was gonna say you drink
But
beer mostly.
I do. This one had all sorts of things. But yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun to put out there. We can have like a
No, I love that,
like
and
a
I'll come
cocktail,
up with a
like
mocktail too.
a mocktail too. I was gonna say, yeah.
I'll ask
To
you.
which that end is another event. We were chatting about how to try to do like in the past we've done a beer trade, and like how we can do that. And there's a couple options we might it might end up trying to be. I'm looking into some options for trying to do like a curated like beer tasting so that way everyone who wants to can try to jump in and have like the same
Right.
can have the same beers. Obviously, we run into an issue with that just from like localities and everything like that. There's a number of breweries local to
Yeah.
us that I've worked with for these types of things, and like they do a great job. Not all of them are as widely distributed as others, and even the ones that
Mhm.
are relatively more distributed still are like in New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and so there's some good spread, but it's definitely would probably require some coordination if we wanted to go that route from a local New Hampshire place versus something else. But that's something
Yeah.
that we're kind of looking into. If that kind of idea is something that is of interest to you,
Mhm.
shoot us an email and we can get involved and try to talk about like how we can coordinate and make that look the best. Because it'd be cool to have a community-driven one rather than me just being like try these beers, uh, but um, which is not a bad plan either. But it's also it'd be cool to get some ideas for that. So,
Mhm.
anyways, so shoot us an email if you'd like to be involved in a beer exchange or something like that too. So,
Or I think it's called O
I
Ministry.
know at least half the channel's feed is going to respond with yes. Um,
I mean, even if it's just
I love
hang
this.
out and have a cocktail hour and chat in a channel
Uh,
and you
Frankie,
know
your suggestion of having brandosas sounds fantastic, but I don't know how that would work.
having what?
Like I'm guessing like a brand like instead of a mimosa, a Brendan um, dosa
Oh,
or
there's
something else.
definitely beer mosas. That's a thing I've had before.
Okay, so the question what sort of things would you be looking for us to help out with from a volunteer perspective? Um, again, like that's going to range for sure. It's going in some cases it might be general forum moderations, just helping keep the
Yeah.
peace. Tech support in a tech channel in case people are having issues. Maybe help with like helping people find groups to play in, that type of thing. Um,
Hmm.
I'm sure there's other ideas. So
Yeah, like a digital host, basically, somebody
yeah,
that can hang out in our and people can hop in to the lobby then or whatever we name it, registration desk, and be like, okay, what events are coming up? Because you don't, even though the event schedule will be posted on every thing that we have, people are still going to ask, just like they do when they're standing next to the giant screen at G2S with the upcoming events next to it. People are, you can help direct people to the right areas or events or games they're looking to play. Just help connect people, basically. So we just need people to hang out online.
yeah, um, yes.
So obviously,
Basically,
your comfort with Discord is definitely a thing that will matter there,
yeah.
though.
In a lot of ways, a lot of the volunteer help that we'd be looking for kind of comes back to like what like old school like bulletin message boards and like just forum administrators would be like the general like mods of like
Yeah.
kind of helping keep the peace and like making sure that people aren't not like making sure that people are following the code of conduct and generally being decent human beings. Um,
Yep.
we'll sell for decent, but good is the goal. So,
Yeah,
um,
I'm not
and
too concerned. We have a great community.
yeah, and I have no idea if this is a serious one or not. But for Boba Fett, what is this live stream? As in, what's it about? I just joined. Welcome. We're talking about Virtual Game Summit. In about 10 minutes or so, you can watch it again and then find out what you missed.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, yeah. Any other questions that folks have? We try to.
You checked both places, right? Since I can't see
Yeah,
either.
yeah. We have. Yeah, the broadcaster has a
Okay.
full mixed stream on it.
Beautiful.
So cool.
I
All
will
right.
have to figure out how to do all of that.
Yeah, it's it's not the worst, but it's not the worst.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
that sounds about right.
Yeah. All right. Well, folks, that's all I got. Do you have anything else?
No, I think we're good for tonight. We'll try to set up
Mhm.
some stuff for next week.
Yeah.
Probably a Jackbox game night or something next week for our Discord. Once those invites come out.
Mhm. Yep. We'll try to do
Yeah.
that. I know that with the live stream, like we're doing it right now, it causes a delay. So maybe we can like figure out a by that time maybe we'll have like the Discord up and running because that's what you literally just said, isn't it? So
It is.
yeah, yeah, I pay
For
attention.
the Discord.
I'm also on a delay, so so
It's been
so
a
yeah, it's
year.
it's bad, yeah, yeah. So cool. All right. Well, folks, definitely shoot us an email if you have any suggestions. We're also message us through Facebook or on the Twitters,
Yeah.
either directly to us if you have our contact if you're connected with us there, or well, connect to me, and then um,
Just tweet at me.
just
Don't
tweet it.
DM
Yeah,
me. Unless you're,
that's what I was
we know
referring
you
to. But
well.
yes, but yeah. So, um, and suddenly Mike causes all sorts of problems. All right,
Yeah.
so um, okay, and with that, we're going to call it. So.